What's up, everybody? John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining me. We are going to be doing some milling on our HM136 Max Woodland Mills. Very excited. I have spent the last couple of days carving these bears, and also today I'm going to try to carve one more big bear. We have our usually one of our biggest craft shows of the year and our first one of the year coming up next weekend, so trying to get everything ready for that. Sorry if there's wind noise, but there's a lot of wind, as you can see. Wowza. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find the right log to mill, because what I really need is I need some signs, because we have some sign holding bears up there and also some sign holding gnomes. So I got to find the right log for that, because I would like to get a nice live edge if I could. And you know, I'm looking at my logs, and it's funny, almost all of my like really big logs are gone. And I've milled them, and I milled them down into like beams. Here, let me show you, because I originally made some like blanks for carving, just like you would make like wood turning blanks. Yeah. So I carved I milled these beams, which are 8x8s, or maybe like 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, to be mushrooms. And then those bears I carved out of two, I think they were maybe close to 15 or 16 inches. And so it's nice because I can take a nice big log and basically quarter it to get some mushroom blanks. So those are more stable when it comes to cracking from carving, because there's moisture in wood, and so as it dries, it tends to crack as the moisture escapes. But a lot of that is due to the rings sort of receding. So since it's a circle, I don't know exactly how it works. But anyway, quartering relieves some of the tension that's on them. So milling these logs first should provide a more stable carving that doesn't crack as much. And so you'll see also, back there was where my little sawmill was, my HM122. That has been sold. I actually sold that the first day I put it up for sale, which, you know, was one of those things, should have sold it for more. But anyway, this is the demo logging, that because the guy came to look at it, and I gave him a quick demo and showed him how to use it and everything. So I think that one's actually going to be small enough, and it also already has a flat edge, that I can just throw it right on the mill and start slapping it up. So let's get to it. All right, so I am so happy with this mill. It took a long time to get this thing set up, and it took even longer to get it running right, but that was due to either from the factory or probably something that I did. It was a loose ground and it blew a fuse. But one thing I will always say about Woodland Mills is that they have the best customer service. They have tech support. It's based in Canada, but you always talk to a real person. someone who works for that company and who knows what they're talking about. I had an issue with the log clamps because these are new to me. These are quick clamps, whereas with the 122 I had ones that screwed in. So I was just having some trouble like sort of getting used to these, and I called them up and they were able to sort of walk me through what I should do. We also talked about the design, because one of the improvements that they have is that they have these roller guides. Ooh, slippy. So these log dogs, or log stops, slide into little sleeves there, and they have little rollers on here, because when you are making lumber, you turn the cant. So like it's sitting like this, and then you would turn it over. And so this aids in it actually rolling all the way over. But I had found that because there's this little notch here that's like basically perpendicular to this, sometimes the cant would end up getting stuck on that, and I would also end up, you know, pulling bark off the log and stuff like that. And so I actually talked to them about it, and they said that that was actually a good idea, and to maybe put a 45-degree angle on that. Anyway, love the company. But so this guy, love the key start, but also the log scales are much better. And so you see here, they have all types of different measurements on here. So this one has 1 inch, 1.125 inches, and 1.25 inches. And there's also on the other side, they go up to 4 and include like 3.5, yada yada. So you have like nominal sizes. So if you wanted to cut a 2x4, you do 1.5, 3.5. But you can also do, you know, actual measurements or true sizes. So that's pretty cool. The other thing, so they've added a dust chute to the side here. And so that's really just this piece of metal right here. And so what I've done is I've just taken, you know, a little bottle. They had already a pre-drilled hole right here. So they've made it so that you can easily just hang a bucket off the end and catch all the sawdust, because this thing, it does throw out a lot of dust and it will pile up quickly. I mean, you see, I made those 4 cuts and I have a full bucket of sawdust already. So I also have this little IBC tote thing here, which I've covered and hopefully, yeah, kept the snow out of it for the most part. So this is where I'm going to store my sawdust, because initially when I had the mill over there, I just let it go, and I had a pile of sawdust on the side, and then it made it difficult to go and do stuff on the other side of the mill. So I'm looking forward to actually collecting the sawdust on here. And then, I mean, I have potholes all over this road, and so I think, you know, some sawdust combined with some wood chips maybe will compact a little bit better. But, you know, we can also use this in compost and maybe in our chicken runs. We'll see. But I'd rather have it and store it somewhere where I can, you know, I can pick this up and move it out of the way if I want to. I also have this, so I have a little chicken wire screen on here, so that when I'm cleaning out my chainsaw shed, I can basically shovel it right on top of here and screen out all the little pieces and get mostly sawdust in there. So I gotta take a quick break and go do something, and then I'm gonna bring these slabs up to the house. All right, so now that I got these 4, so I found, and you'll probably see it maybe in the time lapse, where because the log isn't quite straight, it sort of shifts off to the side and then it gets in the way of the guides. So I'm gonna pull these 4 slabs off, throw them on the forks, flip the log over so the wider part is at the bottom, and then mill a couple more slabs, because I know I have a couple gnomes, I think, up there that need a skinnier slab. So I did a couple, let's see, I did like 1.25 inches, and then the rest of them are 1.125 inches. So I'll probably do the rest at just a flat inch to just make sure that I have a good variety of thicknesses. All right. So we got these slabs. Slabs look pretty good. And yeah, so some of these bigger ones should fit the bigger bears. And then I think, you know, flip these around and these should work. And like worst case scenario, I can always cut them down a little bit if they're too big, but should be pretty good. So one of the things, sorry, I'm squinting. I forgot my sunglasses in the truck. One of the things that I never thought that I would ever know so much about is hay. And, you know, we have been, one of the biggest expenses when it comes to having alpacas is their feed, and the hay is actually the most expensive. And ever since diesel prices skyrocketed, hay prices have also skyrocketed. So I'm always out there looking for a deal on hay. And there had been this place in town that I drive by all the time. And I kept trying to find their phone number, but they don't advertise or anything. So I eventually posted on our local Facebook group and asked if anybody knew. Got their phone number, called them, and so now we are feeding the boys second cut small squares because that ends up being the same price per ton of hay as the large square bales are picked up, and these guys deliver it. And so right now, we just have it sitting under a tarp. We had to get 50 at a time. But, Glacier, you look so sleepy. Are you a tired man? So sleepy, huh? Anyway, so we got the small squares, and so now we got our little hay feeder down here. And this was, you know, another thing that jogged my mind is, you know, now that I'm on the farm full time, trying to come up with different ways to make money, building these little hay feeders would be one of them. The last one that I did was out of oak, and it was super heavy, but I sold it for a couple $100, so that's always good. So I may try to make some improvements on this one. As you can see, there's a little bit of waste here. And so I previously had this like on an angle, so it's like a triangle. I might just do a box and make a wider basin. We'll have to see. I'm gonna play around with it. But that's something that's on our mind too. But anyway, look at those boys. It's such a nice day out, even though it's cold. If it wasn't as windy, it would be much nicer. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna go try to get the trailer up to the house and start loading it up. I have somebody coming by to buy eggs, and see how it goes. All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.